Okay, aloha everybody. My name is Kyle Wilson. I'm going to be doing a class on loss communications procedures in an IFR, under an IFR flight plan. The FAA sets out guidelines in order for you to kind of go down through for your situation. Obviously, a lot of situations are going to be unique, but these should help you guide you towards a solution that can also be expected by the clearance or your controllers in order for them to prepare for what actions you end up taking and your arrival at your destination. All right, so you'll notice here our clearance is, we're cleared to the Lanai Airport via the Pele 2 departure out of Honolulu in order to get to the Victor 2 as filed. All right, altitude restrictions are climb be at or above 2,500 by the Cocoa Head Vortec. I didn't put the radial there, but it's before the 241 radial, I believe, is what we typically get. And then climb maintain 4,000. All right, frequency 119.1, transponder 0236. Okay. All right, so in this scenario, let's just say we're on climb out. They've just given us, so they gave us this clearance, but now we went to climb out and they gave us a heading of 155 and we lost comms. All right, so the number one thing you're gonna do is, if you confirm it, you've checked both of your radios, the first thing you're gonna do is start squawking 7600, right? So that automatically lets them know to start preparing for your aircraft to go down the same sort of checklist and to prepare for you at your destination at a certain time and procedure and sort of route, right? So they'll see that, they'll act appropriately, and you can kind of both be on the same page without talking, right? All right, so first thing you need to think about is, are you VMC, right? So if you're VMC, then the FAA wants you to stay VMC, right? So you're in an environment where you can control things, you can do your own obstacle avoidance and aircraft avoidance. So remain VMC, and then if you can reasonably expect to remain VMC and get down back down to your airport, then do that. So in this situation, I talked about we're on our climb out, we're out over the water. If we don't have any clouds below us and we can still get down, we're gonna just get down to VMC. And we don't have to go to our destination airport, right? So in this case, let's say we're out over the ocean and we're just off of shore of Oahu. We're not gonna go all the way to Lanai VMC. We'll just turn around, and go VMC into whatever seems the most safe here. Probably not gonna be Honolulu because it's super busy. A lot of IFR aircraft. I'll probably go around to like Kalailo or John Rogers, a smaller airfield over there it's Barber's Point for some of you. All right, if you're not VMC, you need to remain IMC, then the mnemonic that we typically follow is Avenue F, right? So for route, because you need to know, okay, well, what route do I go and what altitude do I fly? So for route, you're going to use the mnemonic Avenue F. So assigned, A is assigned, V is vectored, E is expected, and F is as filed, right? So some of these might be the same, and a lot of times they will be the same, which is good, kind of provides predictability, but otherwise you're just going to go from top to bottom. So if your last assigned route was, fly 155 to the Victor 2, then that's what you're going to go do, right? Vectors, if you're being vectored, then the moment you lose your comms, then at that point, from that point, you can fly direct to the fix that you're cleared to, or to your initial approach fix, as expected. And then, all right, so that would be, if you were expect, if they gave you a heading off of your Victor airway, but then said expect a certain fix at clearance to some fix, 10 minutes, then try to hit that fix as close as possible to the expect for the clearance time, right? And then as filed, all right, and that'd be your last one for route, would be whatever it was that you filed. So altitude-wise, it's gonna be the higher of these three, so minimum in-route altitude, or your assigned altitude, or expected, right? So same with Mocha. If you were at a Mocha and it was higher, if you're within 22 nautical miles of your destination airport or your departure airport, your MOCA would be fine as well. But the highest of all these would be the altitude that you should fly. All right, and then finally, once you get to your location, so if we're talking about Lanai in this scenario, let's say it happened further along and we went ahead and went, we didn't have VMC conditions, we had to remain IFR. So we fly to the Victor 2 all the way to our initial approach fix, and it's escaping me right now the name of it. Let's say we're at our initial approach fix. So when can we begin our approach? Well, as close as possible to the ETA, right? But it's not ETA from what we originally filed, it's ETA from when we took off and the estimated time en route. So it's very important to make sure that we're noting the time that we take off. I wrote it right here. So it's very important that we note the time that we take off because we need to calculate that for our estimated time of arrival, right? Okay, and then aside from that, the only other, so that's basically lost comms. The assignment also wanted us to touch on, in a non-radar environment, IFR. So the AIM talks about if you're IFR in a non-radar environment, which it also says is typically oceanic, right? So like between here and San Francisco, there's obviously not radar, so they're reporting constantly. I think there's certain aircraft that do have automatic reporting, but if you don't have one of those aircraft, then whether it's compulsory or non-compulsory, you have to always report your location, altitude, heading, that kind of thing. And then as far as like canceling IFR flight plans, if you're in let's say you land to a non-towered airport that has no radar coverage, you can just call, once you get parked and stuff, call the flight service station and terminate your flight plan that way. Okay, I think that covers it to the basics. 7 minutes. I appreciate everybody listening. Aloha.